Hello, welcome to this update for Australia and Oceania. So we'll look at a few things. First, the heat wave, northern and central Australia, and the extratropical cyclones and the cold weather in the south. So first, this is very not normal actually because it's still winter and there's this heat wave in the north there with temperatures almost to 40 degrees there in parts of northern Australia, 33, 35 degrees, let's see, and all the way to 30 degrees in parts of South Australia during the day, 38, 36, 31 degrees. So be aware of the heat there in the north. There were some fire danger warnings as well in Western Australia, so be aware. And then the next few days you'll be just as bad. It shows like, let's see, 39 degrees, let's see, 38, 39 degrees, and even, let's see, 38. So please be careful. Then further south, like, let's see, Northern Territories, kind of 35 degrees, 33, and some points of Western Australia very high, let's like 38 degrees there. Let's see, this Wednesday, Thursday, the 29th, shows, let's see, 38 degrees, 36, 39, close to 40, even to 40 degrees there in some spots near the coast. Let's see, 40 degrees, 39 in some cities there, 40 degrees. So be careful with the heat during the day in those areas, even North Australia, 36, 31, 35 degrees. And this is South Australia, and this is winter, and it's like 36 degrees in the middle of the day. This is so not normal. 37 degrees, 36, so be careful with the heat there too. Even Western Queensland, 36 degrees, 33, 31, just in the coast it's in the 20s, but it's very hot in other areas. Like Friday the 30th, it shows, let's see, shows like still 38 degrees, 32, 33 degrees, 39, let's see, 37. So stay safe from the heat. And like Central Australia shows this bubble like by Friday the 30th, like 38 degrees, 37, right across like South Australia, Northern Territories, like some areas there could approach 40 degrees during the day, 38, 37 degrees. So be careful there. Let's later it starts to calm down a little bit, but still hot in the north there. Like by Saturday the 31st, still, let's see, 39 degrees, 38, and even 40 in a spot or two. Let's see, the spots near the coast, 37, 38. So be careful there. With the heat later in Queensland, especially Western Queensland, 37, 38 degrees. So be careful there with the heat and everything. And even into early next week, it still shows like 37, 38 degrees there. So be aware. And in the south there, we already have some severe weather warnings for damaging winds there because of the cyclones. There's one in southwestern Australia there, bringing some very strong gusts already, and there's the same one affecting kind of Tasmania and southern Australia there. So let's see. Then this big cyclone keeps spinning there. It comes and then it keeps lashing Tasmania with very strong winds, especially on the western side, but like all of Tasmania during this week, some 83 kilometers per hour, 77 kilometer per hour gusts. Those islands there like 95 kilometer per hour gusts. But this is the European model, and it always shows higher than the GFS. The GFS is like 75 miles kilometer per hour gusts, but 96 also in those northern islands there. So be aware. And then this cyclone, let's see, this is Wednesday the 28th. It shows very strong winds through all of New South Wales, especially in those mountain ranges like 75, 90 kilometer per hour winds, and even near, let's see, near Sydney, 68 kilometer per hour gusts in those mountains, very strong. Most of Victoria there, especially the southern tip of Victoria, close to 90 kilometers per hour gusts, 100. So stay safe there. Let's see the big picture. That cyclone goes there, then he heads towards New Zealand by Wednesday. Thursday, some very strong winds in the mountains in the southern part of the North Island and part of the South Island in New Zealand. The cyclone goes, kind of dissipates, but then there's this new one approaching Australia. That one leaves for New Zealand. It shows this very big one approaching Tasmania, but this is the European. The GFS shows it big as well, but not as big as the European. So let's see, it shows it there. This is by Friday. A lot of strong winds in Tasmania. Let's see, close to 100 kilometers per hour. Then it keeps coming. A is 74 kilometers per hour. And then right in the sea there, like in those islands, 109, 104 kilometers per hour gusts. So please be careful in those areas for all of this week, especially like Wednesday and Friday will be the worst days. Around Victoria, some very strong winds by Friday too, the 30th, and then into Friday night and Saturday shows more through the mountains of New South Wales and some areas there. Then it keeps coming. Very strong winds near the coast in southern Australia still on Saturday, and Tasmania is still getting hammered by that on Saturday. It keeps coming there, and then it goes, but still some very, this like by Sunday, still some very tremendous wind gusts, 80 to 90 kilometer per hour gusts. So please stay safe there these next few days in Tasmania, those islands just north of Victoria and parts of New South Wales. These storms will have some very turbulent winds, so stay safe there. And let's see, in terms of precipitation is also high, because let's see step by step. First, in the next 2 days, where it shows some 66 millimeters of rain in Tasmania, some rain in Victoria, and already shows a lot in New Zealand, close to 100 millimeters in New Zealand. Next 2 days, this is like 3 days, 2 days and 21 hours. Then the next 4 days, it already shows all of this in New Zealand, like 206 millimeters. Most of this might be snow, but 100 millimeters, close to 200, so please be careful there. Let's see, the Northern Island might get some spots close to 100, but not as much as the South Island and Auckland, some 29 millimeters. Let's see, some spots in the north a lot, but please be careful in the western coast of the South Island. Next 4 days in Tasmania, especially western Tasmania, more than 100 millimeters of rain there. So these cycles have a lot of wind and rain, so might be some dangerous conditions. And not even mentioning the seas will be like very high, some very high waves and currents. So please stay away from the sea during these storms. Next 5 days, it shows, let's see, more than 149 millimeters of rain there, 138, 132 millimeters. So please be careful there with those storms. Let's see, more in New Zealand, 200 millimeters throughout the western coast of New Zealand because of these cyclones. And the North Island, this is on the next 5 days, shows many spots more than 100 millimeters on the Northern Island. In the south there, 120 millimeters. In Auckland, some 34 millimeters, but it might be more or less. So some in southwestern Australia next 5 days, and some showers in northern Queensland, but nothing crazy. So please be careful there. That's the European. The GFS has also a lot, but not as much, I think. Shows more than 120 millimeters in Tasmania there. And in New Zealand, it also shows a lot, like more than 130 millimeters through parts of western New Zealand. So please be careful there. In the North Island, it shows too, but not as much as the European model showed. Let's see. The icon shows a lot too, especially in New Zealand. The icon's really showing a lot in western New Zealand and Tasmania there, but these spots, like all of Tasmania and New Zealand, should be very careful with these storms, but especially western Tasmania and western coast of the South Island in New Zealand. So please stay safe there. Let's see, snow on the next 5 days shows a lot in the mountains of New Zealand there. Let's see, this is inches, wait. Okay, here, close to 100 centimeters of snow in those highest mountains. Let's see, 51 centimeters, Queenstown 13 centimeters, 41 centimeters, 51, 81 centimeters of snow, a little bit more further north, so be careful with the heavy snow during those storms, like gusty winds and heavy snow. And nothing in the North Island yet, but let's see, in Tasmania shows a lot too, especially western and central Tasmania. In those highest peaks there, close to 77 centimeters, 19, 20 centimeters, 30. So be careful there, and some other mountains might have more. So be careful, and even some mountains southern New South Wales might have 6 centimeters of snow, and even Victoria some, but nothing crazy. This is the European. The GFS shows more New Zealand, like not as much quantity as the European, but more widespread, like 16, 50 centimeters, 17, 20, 4 centimeters, so all throughout those mountains there. And in Tasmania, it shows a lot in central Tasmania too, actually close to 100 centimeters in central Tasmania, the GFS has. So 111 centimeters, 20 centimeters, 18, 60, 37 centimeters. So be careful there with the snow. And it has some throughout the mountains of Victoria and New South Wales. So be safe there during those storms. And the let's see, the lowest temperatures during the night, you'll be colder in New Zealand there. Let's see, some mountains 0, 1 degrees, 0, 5 degrees, 8 degrees. So be aware there. But in Tasmania, also very cold, especially in the mountains, less than 4 degrees. In New South Wales, Victoria as well. And then let's go through this, still very cold in Victoria, Tasmania, in New South Wales, and New Zealand, because of the higher peaks there. It shows very cold there, 0 degrees, 1 degree, let's see, 0 degrees. So be aware there. And this is the GFS that usually is lighter with the temperatures. The European shows a little bit colder, shows like -3 degrees, -2, 0, -1 degrees, 5 degrees. So be aware. But along the coast is cold, but not as severe as the mountains. So, and 16 around Auckland. Let's see. And some days in Tasmania, like on Thursday to Friday, for example, shows like 1 degree, 3 degrees, especially in those central areas where it tends to snow more. In the mountains, like 8 degrees near Victoria, New South Wales, 6 degrees. Let's see, and later, especially by Friday the 30th, the European showing like -2 degrees in Tasmania, -1, -2, 0 degrees there, 1 degree, 8 degrees, 5 degrees, -2, -3 even. So be careful there with frost and everything as the system passes by. 1 degree, even some spots close to 0 degrees in the mountains, 0 degrees, 5 degrees, New South Wales, 9 degrees, 7, along the coast like 10, 12, 10 degrees, 14 in Sydney. So, and New Zealand, like Friday to Saturday, shows like during the night and early morning, shows very cold there in the mountains too, but like -2 degrees, -1, 3, 1, let's see, 0 degrees, 3 degrees, 2 degrees. So be careful there. And also, if you're driving the mountains with snow, be careful with slippery roads there because of the snow. So let's see, so be careful with the cold temperatures there in Victoria, New South Wales, Tasmania, and New Zealand, and the high temperatures in the north there. So yes, stay safe. Let's see, just some wind gusts bare in New Zealand because we saw more in Australia. So it shows now there's some gusty winds now, but it's quite fine. Let's see. Then it keeps going. Wednesday, this other cyclone arrives like Wednesday. It's showing like Wednesday night into Thursday. Some very strong winds along those mountains there, especially. Even let's see, more than 100 kilometers per hour gusts possible in some of those peaks. Let's see, even in Wilmington, close to 72 kilometer per hour winds in 84. This is 83 kilometer per hour winds, so be careful there. Let's see, this cyclone keeps going more gusty winds, even the sea there near Auckland, 53 kilometers per hour, those interior mountains and areas of the North Island, and the South Island there through Thursday. And then let's see, then it kind of leaves, but still some gusty winds in part of the southern part of the North Island and some mountains in the South Island. But then this big system comes from Australia by Friday the 30th, and the gusty winds start in the southwestern corner of the South Island there, close to 100 kilometer per hour gusts. And then let's see, keeps going, 78, 80 kilometer per hour, 71. So please be careful. This is the European. The GFS shows a little bit less, but also shows some gusty winds, but it shows like way less. Just some points like near Wellington, close to 70 kilometers per hour by Saturday there. And yes, but it's a different scenario than the European. And then it comes, and then it shows like very strong winds, like by Saturday throughout the North Island. 46 kilometer per hour winds in Auckland, but just outside of Auckland in the ocean, 74 kilometer per hour winds. Those interior mountains, more than 100 kilometer per hour gusts possible. Wellington, 77 kilometer per hour gusts. This is Saturday. And then this is the European. The GFS shows like way less. Maybe the timing on the cyclones is different on the GFS, but it shows way less, but better be prepared for the worst. So let's see the European. Sunday the 1st shows some very strong winds in the interior of the South Island, in the mountains too, as that new system comes there. And then let's see, comes, and then this big system comes like by Monday the 2nd, but still far out. This forecast will change, but it shows very gusty winds throughout there into Monday the 2nd. It continues like Tuesday September 3rd shows very gusty winds throughout the mountains there, especially some mountains more than 100 kilometers per hour, and even near Auckland and north throughout there, very gusty winds, and a new one approaching Tasmania there. So be careful with the cyclones, this wind and this rain and everything, and stay safe. Let's see, the waves are very big as well because of these systems. So now in Tasmania it's about 5 meters. Let's see, 7 meters later this comes. Even when that comes close to 9 meters waves in some areas. Let's see, 8 meter waves. And when that big system comes close to 10, 11 meter waves near the coast there. But by Saturday, that's the European. The GFS is close to 10 meter waves as well. And so, and big waves all throughout the southern coast of Australia, kind of in the west coast, and New Zealand, of course, as this goes towards New Zealand and some islands there. Let's see, it shows near the coast close to 7 meters, even 8 meter waves. So be careful there with the waves and everything, and stay safe. Let's see, so in the next 5 days, the rest of Oceania, more like, let's see, heavy rain and thunderstorms in parts of the Solomon Islands, but nothing crazy, just some more storms, some occasional heavy rain there, nothing that crazy, but be careful with those storms. More through the Cook Islands and Tonga because of those systems there, some showers in the French Polynesia Islands, Fiji, especially in Tonga there, more. So it's because of this guy here, this system that's forming there, that extra tropical cyclones bringing some rain and storms there. It keeps going. Let's see, but then more showers and storms, like just some tropical moisture linger there around Tuvalu, Tonga, and those areas, and might form some new cyclones later. So just be aware. some more rains and storms, and the waves aren't small as well. So some bigger waves too as those systems pass near. Sometimes smaller waves, especially on Friday, but then some bigger waves come to French Polynesia by Saturday. So be aware there. Might be some gusty winds too with these systems close by, and yes, and stay safe there. So let's see, even in interior New South Wales show some strong winds on Friday there because of that system. So yeah, stay safe, and this is it.